Well. Have you heard the news, baby? The House Oversight Committee has voted to subpoena the DOJ to have those files released. Yes, baby. Now, I'm not going to get too happy about this because I'm paying attention to all the things that are in the brew. And if you'll remember, just was it last week, boo, that Todd Blanchard, that guy that always looks like he smells something bad. Yes, that dude, the one that covers things up for the orange guy, used to be his attorney and all. Now he's got a position because of, well, I guess it's not really nepotism, but either way, he's got a position because he's friends with Daddy. Now, he went down there to talk to Miss Maxwell last week, and apparently they recorded that, but that's what they do. They record conversations, boo. That's just normal procedure, and I really could care less what she has to say, but it is quite interesting to me today that the House Oversight Committee has subpoenaed the DOJ to release the files. Now, when I'm looking at all this and I step back and all of that, and I consider the fact that Daddy Dumpy Pants came out against the Wall Street Journal and he insisted upon Rupert Murdoch being deposed immediately for what he knows, well, now today we're finding out that Daddy Dumpy Pants has pushed that back. Yes, Daddy Dumpy Pants, not Rupert Murdoch, has all of a sudden pushed all that back. He wants the depositions to be put on hold. He don't want to say what he has to say, and he don't want Rupert Murdoch to say what he has to say. I find that all very strange. When you put together these pieces between the House Oversight Committee all of a sudden coming together to agree to subpoena the DOJ, after Mr. Blanchard went down there to supposedly talk to the perpetrator instead of the victims, boo, and then finding out that all of a sudden Daddy Dumpy Pants isn't furiously mad at Rupert Murdoch and he's okay with putting that lawsuit to the side for months and months on down the line, cover up is at play. Cover up is at play, but cover up's always at play when it comes to Daddy Dumpy Pants. The things that they have to say. Hell, he's got his entire janitorial team on it, baby. His entire janitorial team has been on the scene to cover things up. I mean, you remember the guy at the FBI, the crazy-eyed guy, Cash Patel. Cash Patel, go to hell, Roach Motel. Cujo, I know you're sad, baby, but come on, please. I'm trying to make a video today. I need to pour some tea. Anyway, you remember him and Mr. Dan Bantoni spent all of March scrubbing, baby. Yes, they were scrubbing the floors and the files of the FBI for the orange guy. And then you had his other little helper, Satan's little Cindy Lou Who. That's what I call her, boo. Pam Blondie Bondi. Doesn't she look like Satan's Cindy Lou Who? Yes, she does. Little Satan Cindy Lou Who has been at it, baby, burning up files expeditiously all through the DOJs. So what's going to be left for the House Oversight Committee to view? Who really knows? Because thanks to Satan Cindy Lou Who, it's probably all went up in flames, boo. All of it. Every last bit of it. And that's not the only thing that's been going on, you see, with Daddy's janitorial crew. I mean, let's talk about Mr. Dan Bongino for a minute, baby. What's wrong with him as of lately? He's always on my TV looking like he's about to cry. You know, this guy, did he see something that upset him in those files? Or is it just too much hormones going on lately? And while we're on the subject of hormones, what in the gender-affirming care is going on here with Booger Sugar Jr., baby? Booger Sugar, why are you facing forward but your nipple is looking at me? Are you on hormones, baby? 'Cause them titty-bitties look bigger than they usually do, or at least your surgeon has made a mistake, boo. Your nipple is not supposed to be at a side view. But back to Daddy's cover-up crew as of late. Now, they're not only sweeping and mopping and scrubbing the floors for Daddy getting his name off of everything seen, some of them are actually into fabricating propaganda for you. And we can't leave out old Toe Jam Tulsi. Always wearing white, looking like she's ready for a fight. The love child of Rogue and Storm, too. You are no X-Men, boo, and the reason I call Miss All in White with the white stripe, too, Toe Jam Tulsi, baby, do you know she's actually in a real cult, and I'm not talking about the cult of Daddy. No, she's in a real cult, and the way they worship their leader is they eat his toenails. So I guess in between eating toenails, she's up there causing a scene and fabricating information that is absolutely not true, claiming that there were burn bags, boo, and all kind of files within the CIA that proved that Obama committed treason way back in the day. And while we're talking about the FBI, you know, the crazy-eyed guy, he said he stumbled upon a secret room inside the FBI that was filled with burn bags, baby. So you want me to believe that way back when Obama was in office, he filled a room within the FBI, filled to the brim, baby, with burn bags of evidence against him for treason and election fraud and all of that, and they didn't burn those bags way back then in 2016. And then the orange guy was actually elected president. He sat up there for 4 more years while this secret room was filled with these burn bags, and nobody had anything to say about that. And then another fucking 4 years with another president after that, Biden. So you mean the entire corrupt Biden administration, baby? Nobody found those burn bags and burned them expeditiously. They just magically fucking appeared as soon as the news came into play that Daddy was on all of those files that day. I mean, come on now. Anytime anybody gets to see those files and all those redactions in there, we're going to know that most of those redactions were Daddy. Considering the fact that we learned back in March, baby, when Dan Bongino was on TV crying almost every other day, we learned during that time that they hired 1,000 FBI agents to scour the files for the orange guy and redact his name from there. But then in May, they came out to say that they weren't ready to release the files. Then they came out to say there were no files. Then they came out to let us know, well, they didn't really let us know, but we found out anyway that they told Daddy his name was all in those files. Yes, little Satan's little Cindy Lou Who, and Todd Blanchard too, you know, the guy that looks like he's always smelling poo. Yes, I don't know if he's actually always smelling poo because of Daddy or because of Cindy Lou Who. Every time I find a photo of this guy, he looks like, well, he smells something that stinks, baby. Is it fire? Is it brimstone? Or is it just Daddy? Either way, we learned that they had a little conversation with Daddy Dumpy Pants, letting him know that his name was all in those files. And next thing you know, Cindy Lou Who, Satan Cindy Lou Who, that is out on TV saying there are no files, baby. It's been a cover-up from day one. A distraction every other day. Considering the fact that now all of a sudden Daddy Dumpy Pants doesn't want to play in that lawsuit with Rupert Murdoch, and he wants to push it to the side and push it back further and further away, and the House Oversight Committee doing what they need to do, and now they're trying to say there's going to be a leak of a conversation between the smelly guy, Todd Blanchard, and the Maxwell chick too. Baby, did they think we're fucking dull as can be? We're going to continue to just overlook the red hats and everything they have to say because they worship Daddy every single day. You can bet your ass they're okay with him grabbing people by the cuckoo-cachoo. They would hand over their sons and daughters to him, boo. But shaming our representatives and shaming those in the Senate, it will work. Get on your phone. It's time to twerk. It's time to let them know you've got some things to say as the billboards continue to be erected today. Now, I'm going to hop off of here, dear. I've got some other things I said I had to do. I got to go to the doctor. Oh, one more thing I'd like to say to you if you want to stick around for just a second, boo, about the gerrymandering in Texas. Yes. Now, I understand we need to meet their energies and all of that, but to become a cheat just because they're a cheat is not the way. And let me explain to you today why the plan that Gavin Newsom has and other Democrats about gerrymandering their states too, why it's not going to work, boo, because there's a case currently up at the Supreme Court. It was brought up by Louisiana. You see, Louisiana was forced to draw a new district because a third of their population just so happens to be black, but the voting numbers did not reflect that. So they added another district to help the black constituent actually have a voice, you see, and they took that to the Supreme Court, the Republican did, to have that district go away. And they've pushed that case back. It started in March quietly, baby. You didn't even hear that tea from me. Well, the other day, they were back up for arguments again, and they've decided to put it on hold and push it back again because they're waiting to see how this all plays out expeditiously across the United States, you see. And if the red hats don't get their way with their gerrymandering play, they're going to ask the Supreme Court to do it for them and get rid of any district that they can claim is only a race district. And that would absolutely gut the Voting Rights Act, dear. It would no longer be intact. So the minute we decided to meet their energy and come out on TV and say, if you cheat, we'll fucking cheat, they found a better way to cheat the entirety of the United States. Now, like I said, the Supreme Court has not made a ruling on this case. It's been pushed back so they can, well, gather more statistical evidence. Why do you think Daddy Dumpy Pants is all of a sudden wanting to see the voter data from 19 different fucking states, including 5 swing states? They need to know how to gerrymander more states to work in their favor. And if the Supreme Court rules that they can do that, that it doesn't violate the Voting Rights Act, there is no energy to match here, dear. We have to find a better fucking way. not meeting their energy, but going better, higher, and farther than they ever could. But that don't mean that I'm not willing to go way fucking below low. I've been to hell and back so many times, I've got frequent flyer miles. Try and play with me.